Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And tomorrow the Currie Cup will return as the Cheetahs host the Sharks on the back of a very, very impressive bonus point victory in the week. And for the Sharks, a chance for them to get back onto the field. I mean, they've had 3 Currie Cup games which has been affected. They've missed the last 2 Currie Cup games which have been cancelled. So we're eager to get back on the field. On the back of a double header against the British and Irish Lions, probably a little bit easier competition, but certainly not easy with the Cheetahs. I mean, they really are brimming of confidence after that victory against the Western Province. Very, very impressive performance from them. A couple of big names back, including Roscoe SPECMAN. So expect it to be a very competitive match down there in Bloemfontein, and an opportunity for somebody like Roscoe SPECMAN to maybe just sort of say once again, well, for the Springboks, this is what you guys missed out on by releasing me and stuff like that. And for the Sharks, a nice opportunity for a couple of players to sort of put their hands up. With Jaden Hendrickse being suspended, for example, a nice chance for Grant Williams to sort of take his chance and stuff like that. Before we look at the teams themselves and sort of go through what we can expect from the match, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. And we will start with the Cheetahs. You are at home. It's almost an unchanged side from the side that beat the Western Province on Wednesday. It's completely unchanged front row with Aloluto Takweni, Marnus van der Merwe and Henkes van Wyk providing in that platform up front. Renier Bernardo and John Joster are very hard-working players, been quite a lot of brute force and solidity to that Cheetahs defense, which was so impressive against the Western Province. They just didn't give an inch in that first half. And then for me, it's a fantastic loose trio of Jean-Ray Rudolph, Jacques Porkita comes back into the starting lineup, and Aiden Davis at the number 8 jumper. Junior Pokamela on the bench. I thought he was fantastic on Wednesday. Just coming back from injury, so probably just a bit of rotation there. Ideally, it's difficult how you're going to be able to put all these loose forwards that the Cheetahs have inside that starting 15. Ruan Pino will captain the side, of course. Brandon Thompson at fly-half. He's sort of growing the more he plays as Brandon Thompson, looking like a nice player there. And then Roscoe SPECMAN is back, so he'll be the danger man for the Cheetahs. Duncan Saul scored a try within seconds, really, or minutes on Wednesday. Very nice from him. Clayton Blommetjies is always very, very devastating at fullback. Your centre pairing, Sia Masuko and David Britt, exactly the same from Wednesday. On the bench, Louis van der Westhuizen and Cameron Dawson, Conrad van Vuren is the reserve front row. Victor Sekakete, Junior Pokamela are very capable of placements in the forwards. Then you've got Zinedine Boyson, Rainer Fortain, and Chris Smith. I think it's a very good starting line for the Cheetahs. I think, with the subs, I think Junior Pokamela is a very good player. But for me, as I said, it was the defensive effort which made it so impressive, and some very big players and important. I think Jean-Ray Rudolph had a storming game on Wednesday. He's very good at the breakdown. He's a very intelligent player. He finds himself a lot sort of down in the wider channels as well. Very important ball carrier. Jacques Porkita brings a lot of sort of raw size really to it. And if we look at the Sharks team, Pepsi Buthelezi will lead the side at number 8. Front row is Ntutuko Nkuno, Kieran van Vuren, and Kuta Mkunu. Feza Bata is back at the Sharks, but will not be starting or involved this weekend. Dan Juster gets a chance there off the bench. And we've got Leroux Roots, Reniel Hugo as the 2 locks. I was pretty impressed with Leroux Roots. I mean, he's a giant of a man. And I thought they had quite a good game against the British and Irish Lions. So that lock combination, I think that lock is probably a position where you look at the Sharks, they might need to look at bringing somebody in. So these 2 have a chance to start saying, I think that Ruben van Heerden is good enough. But I think that, with Jaden van der Mesh leaving, these 2 need to really sort of step up and prove that they can do a job. And very, very interesting to see Dylan Richardson in the number 7 jumper, going with James Fenter and Dylan Richardson. So expect a lot of contest down at the ground. Not a lot of bulk men in that loose trio. Pepsi Buthelezi will have to do a lot of the ball carrying. But I think Dylan Richardson and James Fenter will be interesting to sort of see how those 2 operate on the same field. It would generally be one or the other. 2 players who are very good over the ball. But it's difficult sort of trying to get the balance of this loose trio right, and especially when you think of the type of players who will come back into the side. Grant Williams will start with no Jaden Henderson, Cohen Bosch in that number 10 jumper. We'll try and sort of push for maybe higher honors, try and get himself back on form. And the Tucker Abrahams, who had a very nice sort of introduction to Currie Cup a couple of weeks ago, scored a try against the British and Irish Lions as well. Him and Marnus Porkita will be the 2 wings. Still Marnus Porkita play quite well, actually. Werner Koch is an outside centre, which is what makes me the most happy. I think that's his best position. We saw some really good performances against the British and Irish Lions to the extent that people are calling for him to maybe be included in the box squad, which I think is far too soon. But I think it's a position that suits him the best, and that's some really nice depth. They can get him right outside centre. Then you've got Lakanya Ahmed, some really, really nice depth that they could have for the United Rugby champions. Marius Lowe will be inside him, and Anthony Folmick, who I thought was also pretty impressive against the British and Irish Lions, he will start in the number 15 jumper at the back. Off the bench, Dan Justam, Zamo Majola, and Lawrence Arjansa. I think Lawrence Arjansa had a pretty poor game when he came up against the British and Irish Lions. He's vastly experienced, is Arjansa, so that's what they're sort of expecting from him, but he wasn't particularly good. Temulani Boli and Pedro Gamedi brings a lot of grunt to the affair. Temulani Boli is somebody who I think is so unfairly treated in terms of the way he's never been able to sort of settle and solidify a starting lineup. But when he plays, he's always sort of one of the top performers. So, he's becoming quite an important part of the Sharks side. I think it's a loose trio. It's difficult to stay in and around the fringes there. So he will need to keep putting in some big performances. Then Cameron Wright will cover the scrum half position. Him and Lionel Cornier are back in Sharks colours and are on the bench this weekend. Jeremy Ward as well. So, I mean, look, it's nice to be able to bring, the experience of Lionel Cornier and Cameron Wright. Also, Lionel Cornier, a little bit more sort of enterprising than Cohen Bosch can be. Probably a little bit more creative, likes a couple of chips over the top, likes a couple of dabs in behind. He's a very creative player, is Lionel Cornier. I mean, he had quite a nice start to the British and Irish Lions game and then kind of sort of faded towards the end. So it should be interesting how we go. It should be a really good clash. The Sharks haven't played rugby in a while. The Cheetahs looked very impressive on Wednesday. I think the one thing we could sort of all agree is that the Currie Cup, when we've had Currie Cup action, it's been very even. Any team can beat any team at the moment. So this should be a really, really good clash, and hopefully we can get some nice running rugby from both sides and something that's a very, very watchable spectacle. I'm probably going to go Sharks by 5. I think the Cheetahs are playing some very good rugby. I think that there's a lot of star quality in the Sharks side. I think their pack's looking pretty decent. I think I suppose it depends on if that front row can sort of really front up. But some pretty exciting players. Grant Williams is very good at sniping in and around there. I think Bernard Cox very good defensively. Anthony Folding's very exciting on the attack, as is Abrahams. So that's why I'm sort of back in the Sharks. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. My name is Steven. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you guys soon.